Good morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever and whenever you are. My name is Benjamin, and welcome to another Let's Pixel video. I haven't done one of these in a while, so I'm really excited to get started with this one. You will notice that I have a new program open here that I'm using for this video, and this program is called Asprite, and I think that's how you pronounce it. It's spelled a little bit funny. It's spelled Asprite. Now this is a paid program, so if you want to use this program, you do have to pay it. There's a demo version, but you can't save your files, and that's pretty brutal. There's not really, I mean, if you want to try using the program just to see if you like it, you can, but don't make anything too nice because it's going to be gone forever. But it's I think it's about $10. It's totally worth it. Out of all of the different sprite art editing programs that I have used, this is my favorite. And so, however, if you want to follow along, but you don't have Asprite, you can use Graphics Gale. Obviously, it will have a slightly different interface, so you'll have to be familiar with that program and its interface, or you could use GameMaker's built-in sprite editor for some of the stuff that I'm doing, although Graphics Gale would be better at a lot of the stuff that I'll be doing because it has rotation and stuff like that, and we may end up using that. So anyways, if you've got $10 to spare, or you can come up with a way to get $10 or for Christmas, and you want to get into pixel art, I really feel like this is the best way to go. I used Photoshop for a while, and Graphics Gale, and Pixel Edit, and Piskel, and a bunch of other ones, and this one's my favorite, so it's totally worth it. Photoshop, I actually paid like $10 a month for a while, and for pixel art, this is the way to go, in my opinion. That's personal opinion. So, okay, let's get started. I'm going to create a new project here. And I want to do something a little smaller. So I'm going to do a width of 48 and a height of 32. And, okay, so they have these different color modes here. Red, green, blue value means that each pixel has its own red, green, blue, and alpha components. Grayscale means each pixel has a gray value and an alpha component. Indexed means each pixel has a reference to a color in the palette. So that means with this one, if you change a color in your palette, it's not going to do anything except change the color in your palette. But with indexed, if you change the color in your palette, it's going to change the color on all of the pixels that contained that color as well. So I'm pretty sure you can switch at any time during the process, but I'm going to choose indexed for now because I kind of want to mess around with the fact that if I don't like a certain color, that I can just alter that color and it will automatically alter the pixels on my canvas as well. So we're going to do that. Okay, first thing you'll notice is in this editor, down here is where you'll deal with layers and animations, but, okay, we're not going to be dealing with that right now. Your palette is over here, your tools are over here. I've got most of my tools set up to hotkeys. So let's look at some of the things. One of the reasons I really like this program is because you can set what are called quick hotkeys. So if you go to Edit, and then go to Keyboard Shortcuts, and then go to Tools, you can see there's a whole bunch. You can set all of the hotkeys that you want here, but they have what's called a quick hotkey. Now, a quick hotkey is one that only comes up when you're holding down the button, the hotkey. So you can see that I have my, where is it? Eyedrop. I have my eyedrop quick set up to control. Now that's exactly like GameMaker's built-in eyedrop. It has a quick setup to control. So if I hold down control, it's going to switch to the eyedrop. If I let off control, it's going to switch back to draw. Now I have F set up for fill, but it's also a quick key. So if I hold down F, it's going to allow me to fill in. If I let off F, it's going to switch back to the draw. Now if I have the same thing with E for eraser. If I hold down E, it switches to eraser. If I let off E, it switches back to the draw. Now I really like those, and those are the quick keys that I've changed and set up. If you want yours to be the same as mine, you can do that. Just go to the keyboard shortcuts and update those preferences like I have. So scroll will zoom in and out, and holding control and scrolling will cycle through your frames, but I don't have any more frames. So what we're going to do now is, this is just the default palette that it comes up with, and I'm just going to use this palette right here because why not? There's really no reason to worry too much about the palette right off. Now I'm going to be doing a Pixel Daily. So on Twitter, there's a Pixel Daily Twitter account, and every day they tweet out a new theme. And they did a dinosaur theme a little while ago. And so I'm going to be doing a Stegosaurus because I feel like Stegosauruses are underrated. They're really cool looking dinosaurs, but nobody really gives them the credit they deserve, you know? So, but I'm going to choose this kind of dark blue color for my base. I'm going to use a silhouette technique here. So I'm going to start sketching, just drawing some on here and putting down some shapes. So to kind of create what I think this Stegosaurus is going to look like. Now, I'm using a reference image from Google, but I'm not going to do it exactly like my reference image. It's going to be a reference. And let's get down some legs here. Not sure exactly how I want to do that, but hold control. You can see now I can erase, switch back. So nice to be able to do that. So I feel like the back legs especially are just a little bit too thick. See, this is where I could use fill here. So I'm going to start filling this in. Now I'm just using the basics. I'm just using my quick keys that I've set up. Now, I'm going to press, I have select quick key to S because I like that for my quick key, and I think B switches back to my brush, and I think that's the default quick key, so nothing too special there. That goes a little bit too far, I feel like. It's so nice to have that control set up so I can just, you know, switch really fast. So we're doing pretty good here. And we've got the basics in. I'm going to do some spikes on this guy because everyone knows that Stegosaurus has dangerous spikes. Only I'm going to start switching colors here. So for these spikes, for now, I'm just going to grab, let's do this lighter. Well, let's do this lighter color for now. Okay. I'm not sure exactly how I'm going to want that to look. I probably better close out of Skype. Let's quit Skype. Okay. Got some nice spikes. Don't really like the direction they're facing though, so I'm gonna change them. Control Z is to undo. So that's pretty easy just to do as well. Let's not worry about the spikes right now because I'm not really filling the shapes yet. So I'm going to use an interesting red color for the plates. So let's start doing those. I'm going to do a plate here, a smaller plate here. The size of these plates is going to be we'll make them get slightly larger as they go back. Something like that. Not too bad. Now we're going to need a darker color to represent the plates behind those. So I'm just going to kind of shade this color a little bit. Show the plates behind. We don't have any light yet in this, so we're not really dealing with light here. This is just kind of, it's going to be darker because they're further back. Might as well just darken that in. Looks weird not to have it darkened. Okay. Now, we're going to want to think about where our light is coming from. So I'm going to grab this yellow and it's going to represent where the light's coming from. And in this shot, I feel like it'd be interesting to have, I have a tendency to do light coming from this direction right here, I think, but that's okay. I think it'd be interesting to have the light coming from this direction because then our tail here is going to like shade some of the body. The plates are going to shade some of the body. It's kind of coming from behind. It's going to be an interesting way to represent the light. So let's grab a lighter green here. And I'm going to do this color. And we're going to draw where we think the light is going to be hitting this. So we're going to have kind of a bigger section here where this this shoulder kind of comes out, and we're going to have a section here for the hip, kind of right there. And then I can imagine that we're going to get some light on the back of this leg right here because of where the light's coming from, and some on the back of this leg back here. We might get some down the side of this leg right here. This leg probably isn't going to get much light, that one. So we'll probably get some of this body right here as well. But I imagine that we'll get some shadow coming up like that. And we'll probably get light hitting on the insides of this. And we'll probably have shadow hitting right here because of these plates. So we may need to lighten this a little bit more. Because I'm going pretty, might get a little bit of a glow on the tail, like that, because of the light. But I'm going to add quite a bit more light to this. Kind of the same shapes, but we're gonna hit more of this. There we go. I just want to get some more light showing here. So we've got some interesting light coming down now with our Stegosaurus. And we can make sure and hit these shadows again. Like that. So we got those nice shadows coming down from the plates. Have the light coming between there, between where the plates will be hitting. And then we can get some light on our plates too. So I'm gonna add some light up here to where the light is going to be hitting these. But it looks to me like it would probably come on the inside here instead of the outside. Oh, I need to set up my preview. I totally forgot about that. If you go to, where is it? View. Preview, right there. So setting up preview is a really good idea because then you don't have to zoom in and out like I've been doing the whole time. You can stay zoomed in and just peek up at your preview. So we've got, it seems like switching sides here in the middle just feels good for the lighting. I'm going to grab our darker color though, and we're going to darken the plates that are in back. And use that same dark color, and we'll use the lighter color, the lighter red color, to represent where the light's hitting those in the back. Okay. Now we're gonna grab brighter green, and I'm gonna do some scales. It's a really bright color. In fact, let's see what happens if we grab this and we fill that in here. Because that red didn't look right to me. That looks much better, I think. We can use that red as where the light is hitting this though. Oops. So fill in the pinks. Actually, I prefer the pink, to be honest. I'm gonna undo and keep that pink color. And we'll use it in a few places. Looks best just to keep that really minimal like that. So our green's a little bit wild here, but that's the benefit of what we did originally, right? What did we do originally? Well, we set this up so that we can change colors whenever we want. So that if we change a color in our palette, it will change it on the image as well. So this really bright green that we've got going on here, it's probably too bright. We can lessen it, which is what we're going to do. So we're going to take this green color. We should be able to modify it. I think you edit color. So what I did is I clicked on the green color and I edited the color. And now I can change it. You can see it changes it on our image too. So all I'm doing is I'm lowering the green value just a bit. But what we could do instead actually is keep the green value nice and high and go to red hue saturation, and not sure what the B is supposed to stand for. Normally it's hue saturation and value, but we can lower our saturation a little bit and lower the darkness just a little bit. And ease up on that green color so it's not quite so crazy looking. Be interesting if we put this, if we made this a little bit more blue, I feel like. But isn't that cool? We changed the color of our palette here and it automatically changes the pixels on our image. Which I think is really pretty cool looking. So let's grab this green color right here, which is there, and we're gonna edit it a little bit as well. And I'm just gonna darken it a tad. And we need to do our spikes. So I really, this color seemed to be a pretty good color. First though, let's name this layer. I'm gonna name this Dino, and then I'm going to create another layer, and you can do that by hitting Shift N to create a new layer. I'm going to name this background. This way we can get a background color that won't be affected by our other colors here. So I'm just going to do a gray, and we're going to click on this layer, and if you grab the yellow edge, you can drag the layer up and swap their places. And if we create, in fact, let's create another layer here. So Shift N. I'm going to call this shadow. We're going to create a shadow for our dinosaur. I'm just going to choose black. I'm going to choose the circle tool right here. This. And apparently that didn't work. Why didn't that work? I'm drawing on the shadow. Should be above the background, so we should be able to see it. Is it because I chose black? Yeah, I think black is actually the alpha layer. Oops. I'm on Dino. What? I hope I didn't draw that shadow on Dino. I think I did. I want to make sure that you draw it on the shadow layer, not the dinosaur layer. Okay, there we go. Now what I'm going to do is make this layer, if I right click on it, I can go to properties and alter its transparency a bit. So we get a shadow that's not quite as strong. And then we can erase our light from here. Change the background color, because the background color sure seems like a lame color. I don't know. I might just keep it. Maybe I'll do a lighter gray. That's a little better, I think. That lighter gray. So now that we've got our dinosaur set up like that, we can do the spikes. So switch back to the dino, go to lighter values. Go to the brush. Trying to decide what's going to look the best. Something like that. Looks pretty cool. The spikes going like that. Let's erase this. And there you go. We've got a nice Stegosaurus. I chose pretty bright colors for this because I want it to be kind of bright. But there's your first Let's Pixel in Sprite, and I'm going to be doing more, especially with animation, because that's where I feel like Sprite is very strong, is the way that it does animation. It handles that quite well. So we'll be moving on to that, and we may actually animate this image right here, because why not? It's a pretty good little creature that we've created that we could animate. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you learned something from this video, found it helpful, be sure and like, favorite, and subscribe. And I will talk to you guys later.